Faircast Media, bitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, persons of all ages, welcome to the most exclusive group in the wrestling community. And now, your hosts, first, from Guadalajara, Puerto Rico, Macho Rodriguez, and his tag team partner from New Brunswick, Canada, God's gift, Tyler Taylor!
¿Cómo estamos, mi gente? Welcome to another edition of Must Love Wrestling. As I'm sitting here thinking about the Smackdown that came out last night, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, that was a hell of a show, guys. So let's go into it. Right away, we open up the show with John Cena coming to the ring, and before he can even get any words out, immediately we get Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, has returned to professional wrestling. The Tribal Chief is back, and he's here to lay the groundwork. And he tells John Cena right away, if that's how you're going to open your show, open my show, you must do it the right way. Acknowledge me, John. As he tells the crowd, acknowledge me. From there, John Cena grabs the mic and does his typical preacher mentality and just says, I'm not here to challenge you for the championship because I haven't earned it, but someone else has. And just like that, we get L.A. Knight. What a difference L.A. Knight means from just a couple of months ago. Yeah, the guy was over. He was absolutely over. But right now, what we're seeing is main event talent, guys. Main event talent. We are 1,000% watching someone that could quite possibly take the championship off of Roman Reigns. Will it happen? No, I don't believe it will. But honestly, I got to tell you, just having Roman Reigns and LA Knight face-to-face on a WWE Smackdown show, it felt big time. Because the way LA Knight has been built over the past 6 months to a year, he absolutely feels like a main event star, guys. He doesn't feel like this mid-carder who's been thrust into the spot. He feels like an organic rise, just like a Stone Cold Steve Austin or a Daniel Bryan or a CM Punk. He feels like somebody who just slowly but surely pulled the audience in to be a part of his whole LA Knight shtick. I love how he starts it right away, and it feels very unscripted, asking Roman Reigns if he pissed his pants yet. I thought that was so brilliant. Roman looks at him with disgust. The way Roman looks at LA Knight, it's almost like, you don't belong in here, guy. What are you doing in here with the Tribal Chief? I got to tell you guys, I'm excited for this match. I hope we get it in Saudi Arabia because the last couple Saudi shows have been bangers. Bangers. After that, like, LA Knight looks like he's about to just dress down Roman Reigns. But before he can even do that, Jimmy Uso attacks LA Knight. LA Knight gets the upper hand, and Roman walks out of the ring and tells Solo, take care of him. Forget about John Cena, but take care of him. So Solo challenges LA Knight to a match later on tonight on WWE Smackdown. And guys, I'm excited. I can't wait to talk about this match. I have some massive thoughts about LA Knight versus Solo. Some of you may not agree with them, but as someone who's been in a professional wrestling ring, as someone who has a brother who absolutely loves professional wrestling as much as I do, I got to be honest with you. We know what to look for, and what I watched in that match, well, I'll touch on that a little later. So moving on from there, we have our first match of the evening, and we have the Brawling Brutes, Pete Butch Dunne and Ridge Holland versus Pretty Deadly. I got to be honest with you guys, as someone who's not a big fan of unsafe workers, the fact that Ridge Holland has been shown to us as not being an unsafe talent, that he's been given another opportunity to go out there and show that he's not injury prone, that he's not just going to injure people left and right, because he's had a couple of instances, obviously. And the fact that he worked the guys that got injured in a match with him, I loved that Triple H gave him that level of confidence. Go out there and give him that. It was beautiful. The match itself was pretty solid. Wasn't very long, but pretty deadly get the pinfall because obviously one of them continues to fake the knee injury and everybody's scared. Even commentators are playing it up really well. He gets the roll up on Ridge Holland. What a solid finish to the match. I love it. Yes, boy, they are back. They are absolutely back. And do not be surprised if they pull in Iconics and they wind up winning the Undisputed Tag Team Championship, because it feels like something that can happen. They are the male version of the Iconics. When have we ever done that before? Let's think about that. We've always done that. We've always said this person, like Charlotte. Charlotte is the female version of her dad. But we've never done it in the other way. Because yes, Pretty Deadly is phenomenal, but they're pretty much the Iconics. Billy Kay and Cassie, that's exactly what they are. There's no difference to them whatsoever. I prefer the Iconics, but obviously, we're not going to have that. From there, we have a backstage segment with Carlito talking about being back in WWE, and he gets confronted by Bobby Lashley. And as he sits there and he's thinking to himself, Carlito's happy to be back. Carlito's happy to be here on WWE Smackdown, but how about this, Bobby Lashley? How about Carlito versus Bobby Lashley in his first match back? And before Bobby Lashley can accept or deny, which you knew he was definitely going to deny the proposition, Carlito's attacked by the Street Profits. I love this because it immediately puts Carlito in a spot where he's able to work one of the top talents on SmackDown. And now I'm quite positive that he's a part of the LWO. I mean, they're the ones that came to his defense. He's the guy. He should be the main guy in the LWO. That's my personal opinion. I mean, I'm not biased at all. I'm not biased, but anyway. But as we're sitting there and we're taking care of Carlito, we have Bayy for some reason trying to get interview time. And Zelina Vega le dice, mira, coño, vete pa'l carajo. Like, get out of here. You don't need to be here. And she challenges her to her match. And then as Bayley's walking away, coño, she hit her with that chancleta, yo. And any of you that grew up with, like me, you know what that chancla means. I mean, she didn't miss. You heard Bayley, ay, coño. Like, you knew right away. That shit she hit that, like, head on. We go from there. We go right there to a match with Bayley and Zelina Vega, and Bayley picks up the win. It's her first win since July 14th. Can you believe that? Now, guys, as you know, I'm a massive fan of women's wrestling, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you that wins and losses matter when they don't matter. Bayley's been putting over talent, and she is one of the MVPs in the women's division. Yeah, this was a solid, nice little win to get her on a live SmackDown and in front of a live audience, but this was one of those moments where just her being out there, being able to work someone like Zelina, it felt better than the actual win-loss of either of the women, I'm sorry. From there, we go to the game. Triple H, as he's in the ring, as he comes to the ring and he gives props and he praises Adam Pearce and he promotes Adam Pearce to the new general manager of Monday Night Raw. We are back, guys. We are back to one of my favorite moments in professional wrestling. We are back to the general manager era. Before he can announce the new SmackDown general manager, Dominic Guerrero Mysterio comes out to the ring. And he's dressing down Adam Pearce, and he's dressing down Triple H. And he can't really talk, but I got to tell you, Triple H is one of the most underrated guys in the mic ever. The way he plays into the crowd is phenomenal. Triple H has by far been one of the most instrumental pieces in professional wrestling over the past 2 to 3 decades. And watching him interact with Dominic Mysterio felt genuine. It felt real. I truly enjoyed it. I was a big fan of it. I liked how Dom is sitting there trying to cape up for his Judgment Day members and how they're getting a opportunity on Monday Night Raw, only for Triple H to say, you're angry with the wrong people, my guy. You have a bone to pick it with this guy over here. And he goes into it and he introduces Nick Aldis, Impact Wrestling legend, NWA Wrestling legend, also known as Mickie James' husband. Hopefully that leads to something, because I definitely want Mickie James back in the fold. I said that on yesterday's episode. Nick Aldis goes out there. He jumps right to it. He shakes Triple H's hand. He shakes Adam Pearce's hand. He says he looks forward to competition between Raw and SmackDown. Adam Pearce agrees with him. As Dom is sitting there saying, who cares? He shakes Dom's hand. He says he's a big fan. And before he lets him go, he goes, of your father. I mean, coño, papi. You had to hit him like that? Le dio una bofeta con palabra nada más. That was absolutely killer. What a classic joke by Nick Aldis. He just walks off like that. And he introduces Smackdowns Trade. Let's go back a couple of months ago when Jey Uso was traded to Monday Night Raw. We were told that eventually SmackDown would get a superstar. So we finally got one. As Dom is sitting there saying he's going to lay the smackdown on people. Well, he didn't say it like that, but that's kind of where he went with it. As Dom is sitting there saying he'll smack whoever the draft pick is, boom, Kevin Owens' music hits. He walks down to the ring and immediately hits a stunner. And we get a KO stunner. He knocks him out of the ring. They celebrate, and we move on. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I'm very happy with Kevin Owens being moved to SmackDown, because as me and Tyler have been saying on previous shows, I'm worried that they were going to do the same old trope, that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were going to betray each other. One of them was going to turn heel. One of them was going to stay face. And then all of a sudden, we're going to be rocking behind one guy, rocking behind another guy, when they're both equally as hot right now. So instead of us turning one of them heel, this, which was glaringly obvious, and I didn't even think about it, this was the best way to separate them. Split them up, send one of them to SmackDown. And I'm happy with the person they sent, because I love the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns matches. I love Kevin Owens and Austin Theory. I love the potential of Kevin Owens helping get Karrion crossover. I love the potential of Kevin Owens and the LWO and what that could mean for the future. I mean, if he goes over there with this, like, I have no patience for any of this, and he just starts dominating people, 100%. I mean, I feel like that'll work. He might take over the entire SmackDown roster when Roman's not there. We move on to there till we get a little hype package for Dragon Lee. So it looks like Dragon Lee is going to be a SmackDown guy. That's interesting to me. I like how he was just moved up just based solely on his work ethic. What a fumble by Tony Khan. Ooh, there it goes. Quarter in the jar. Brought up the other company. Let's move on. We move on from there to Austin Theory and Grayson Waller versus Blood Rhodes. That's right. Blood Rhodes, as our producer, D. Rotten, has coined the new name for Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I love it. We have them defending their tag titles in a pretty quick match. I would say this match was about 10 minutes, one segment here. Once again, they go for the modified 1D into the Cody cutter, and Cody once again falls like he had just been dropped on his head like a German suplex. I don't like the way he's taking this move. Eventually, this is going to hurt his future. Guy, you need to land flat on your back. But I'm not going to tell you how to work. You have your own wrestling factory. You do your own thing, but it definitely does not look good. And as we've seen in the past with guys like the Crippler, Kurt Angle, Edge, we know that these neck injuries, they pile up, and we don't want to lose you, man. After the match, we get a confrontation between the entire bloodline and Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, only to have Cody and Roman come face to face. And once again, Nick Aldis is put in the middle as he says, not today, boys. Not today. It's a lot of work that they're putting into Roman Reigns beating Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 again. I mean, what are we looking at here, guys? And before you start complaining, I just want to make this clear, mi gente. Roman Reigns lost to Brock Lesnar 2 times at WrestleMania before he finally beat him. This is the way stories are properly told in professional wrestling. If you have a problem with the story being told with Cody Rhodes, then my only My only opinion to you is that you're not watching the right programming. Once again, Roman Reigns lost to Brock Lesnar 2 times at WrestleMania before he finally beat him. This is the story being told. Cody will lose at WrestleMania 40. We come back from commercial and we have LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. Mi gente, coño. I gotta take. Let me stretch back here for a minute. Let's be honest. We have been waiting for this. 1000%. We have been waiting for LA Knight to have his moment, to have his best wrestling match. Where has that match been? For the longest time, everybody has said there's something missing in LA Knight. There's one key component that we have not got. He has not had that one-on-one really good match. That is no longer a thing because on October 13th, on Friday the 13th, 2023, LA Knight provided us with an instant classic against Solo Sikoa. That match was amazing, guys. Go back and watch it. I enjoyed the entirety of it. Solo and LA Knight, they work together really, really well, and I would not be surprised if they wind up moving forward with their feud. I would love nothing more than to see these guys have a couple pay-per-view matches. I hope this isn't a one-off because I was very excited with all of it. I even enjoyed the shenanigans with John Cena and Jimmy Uso jumping in the match later on. I thought that was great as well. LA Knight hits the blunt force trauma, and all of a sudden, everybody's taking this move amazingly. Now it's starting to look like a brutal finisher. And I love it. Solo takes a clean pin in the middle of the ring. I mean, guys, this is one of the best Smackdowns we've got in a year. Familia, escúchanme. In a year, we have not gotten a Smackdown this good. And we finally got one. As LA Knight is celebrating, Roman Reigns hits him with a spear. And I got to tell you, what a beautiful spear. And he tries to do the LA Knight to the crowd, and they are booing the shit out of him. I mean, let's be honest with it, guys. Roman Reigns is back, and wrestling is better for it. Having the tribal chief back on wrestling, having him back on television, it's what's best for business. And I'm not trying to steal Triple H's trope, but it is what's best for business. We need to enjoy Roman Reigns while we have him, because look at the crowd now. Look at the way they react to Cena. There's no more Cena sucks. There's no more John Cena sucks. Now everybody's just Cena. Roman Reigns, Charlotte Flair, they're getting the LeBron James effect. People hate them right now because they're in our face, but when they go away, people will be missing them. So let's enjoy them, mi gente. Until next time, I'm out.